guys? Joe here. Man who, a lot of people don't talk about this. John Jones is also ducking me. I mean, I don't see any calls from him to fight me. And I'm here to talk about UFC Macau. Honestly, one of the most fun cards of the year, which desperately needed. I mean, literally, like the biggest thing we had to enjoy for a little bit was John Jones in a pointless fight. Enjoying John Jones is kind of impossible to do already. And then add in a pointless fight. But enough talk. Let's just get to the fights. Main event of UFC Macau, bantamweight matchup. Petr Yan, Deivison Figueiredo. So fun matchup, very fun matchup. Now, while I picked Figgy to win, I knew that Yan was still a great fighter. He had a really good bounce back win earlier this year against Song Yadong, and his only losses in recent years have been to all champions, with two of those not feeling like real losses. Let's be honest. We all know he beat Sugar Sean O'Malley, pretty bad decision, and he was DQ'd against Aljo for an illegal knee, which is a loss. But even though it is a loss, the legitimate loss, DQs never feel right. I feel like they leave a bad taste in your mouth. But so still a dangerous fight. Early on, Figueiredo, he gets a takedown attempt, but Yan is able to reverse it. He's on top controlling, landing some good ground and pound. And from there on out, Yan just wasn't getting taken down really. Really able to piece together great striking. He would get trips when he needed to. He was just winning the striking battle over and over and over again. Figgy was super tough, hung in there, was losing every round, but he was always in the fight, always trying to get something going. But Jan just kind of outclassed him, as the fight went on. And he even dropped Figueredo, I believe, in round three. Might have been round four, but I believe round three. Uh, it happened at like a weird time for me. Normally, if I was funny, if I was working overnight still, I would have been able to watch it, no problem. I'm not anymore, so I'm on days, and it's like, oh, I was asleep. But yeah, for Jan, he called out Merab next. He wants the title fight. Of course he does, and he wants a rematch against Merab. But I think there's a bit of a line. I mean, you got Umar, who's definitely number one contender right now. Um, Very funny. If you go on Twitter, you can, or someone posted a picture of Marab. It might have been Marab himself, and known known controller of Pakistani Twitter accounts, Ali Abdelaziz, accidentally forgot to change and log out of Umar's account and tweeted, "Umar beats this guy," in Umar's account, and then quickly replied to his tweet. Sometimes when you're that confident, you talk in third person or something like that. It's super funny. Go look it up. But Umar's definitely number one contender. Uh, and I think realistically speaking, they're probably gonna like a match that makes sense to me is a rematch with O'Malley or a rematch with Corey Sandhagen. It sounds weird giving him a guy coming off of a loss, but still. But Figueredo, he is going to drop down the rankings a bit. So I doubt a matchup with Henry Cejudo, who's his training partner, is in the books. Maybe one with Song Yadong, maybe even Mario Batista. And if we're really spicy, if we want something really spicy, then maybe we do Jose Aldo. But for the co-main event, Yan Xiaonan beat Tabitha Richie, and the co-main, just seemed like she was a couple steps ahead. Richie really couldn't get anything going. But Xiaonan had a better defense and was able to kind of keep the offense going. And afterwards, she wins by unanimous decision, as did Petr Yan. I don't know if I mentioned that. All 5 rounds, Petr Yan wins. But Yan Xiaonan, 30-27, kind of a similar situation. He called out Weili Zhang, who she fought earlier this year at UFC 300. And I don't think that's the fight to make. But honestly, I just want Weili Zhang to fight again. Inactivity is the narrative, and whether you agree with that or you don't agree with that, that division does need some movement in one way or another. But two of the big things I want to talk about, these two big things that people are going to talk about because the card was really fun and there was some stakes here. We like fun. We need fun after the BS we had to put up with last week. So Muslim Salikov, I'll talk about first. He got a huge wheel kick KO. I think they said he's the first person to have multiple KOs in the UFC with that. One of the better KOs of the year. I don't even think the best KO of the night though. But Salikov early on, he's throwing spinning back kicks to the body early. We all knew where this was going. He's testing the waters for the wheel kick. And sure enough, boom. He gets it, and it's down for the count. He goes down big time. It was pretty sweet. But Ming Shi got a huge KO with a massive head kick that put Zhao Can Feng out cold in round three. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It is insanity. Haunting, hauntingly insane. Because Feng actually had to get put on a stretcher and wheeled out. You know, one of the harsh realities of the sport in this moment. Great highlight, disturbing aftermath. But it has to be considered KO of that's my KO of the night with all the context involved. What a crazy KO. Also, it's very fun because she's a doctor. It turns out she's a doctor, and her parents, who are very traditional, told her, be a doctor, do this, X, Y, and Z, and all that noise. Um, and it was a doctor or lawyer, I believe I saw in the interview. And she didn't tell him she was an MMA fighter until just recently. For the rest of the card, Gabriella Fernandes became a top four winning underdog of all time with a rear naked choke win over Wang Cong. Big shot, knocked her down, took her back, got the win. Carlos Olberg outclassed Volkan Ozdemir over 3 rounds for a unanimous decision. Zhang Mingyang beat Ozzy Diaz by KO in round one with a fun elbow. I like a good elbow. Dong Hu Choi won the road to the UFC with a first round KO over Kiru Sahota. I believe it's Loner Kavanaugh got a unanimous decision win to justify some of his hype over Jose Ochoa? Ochoa? I don't remember how they said his last name. I gotta be honest, I had that fight on mute when I was watching it because I was doing a couple things and like eating dinner. So didn't hear how they pronounce names. I do apologize. Zhao Long beat Kwang Li by KO in round three. And finally, Mahashati beat Nicholas Mota by unanimous decision. Now, for the not so fun thing we got to talk about. Now, I got to talk about this Connor trial at least a little bit. At least a little bit. Because if I didn't, I'd be doing you guys a disservice and all that kind of thing. So, I haven't been following this case because I got to be honest, I don't care. It's depressing. Cases like this just depress me and they wear me out, wear my soul out, So I really don't have comments on the whole investigation or the X, Y, and Z on this. But I'm here to tell the truth or here to tell the facts. And I did some reading up on it before this so I could have all the facts for us. And it is wild. If all this is true, it's wild. So I'm not really sure what I can say and what I can't say, or what I can, what I can't, what I shouldn't, and what I probably should. So I'm just gonna be kind of vague here. And for long story short, if you don't know, Connor had a civil suit filed against him in early 2021, alleging while he was intoxicated, him and another guy, James Lawrence, I believe, took advantage of Nikita Hand in 2018. Apparently, that guy Lawrence or whatever was being positioned as the fall guy, according to Hand in the court case. And I'm just reading what people were saying in the courtroom and the official things of it. I wasn't there fully to put my judgment on the story. I don't know if he was. I don't know the context behind it. I just know these are things. This whole situation's nuts. It's a weird rabbit hole I kind of got into. And honestly, if this is all true and justice is actually being served here, um, I hope there's jail time involved because Connor, like let's be honest first. Everyone knows I'm not a fan of Connor. We all know that. I rag on him all the time. I actually think his resume is kind of crap if you put a microscope to it, you know. But let's be honest here, and I'm not going to name names because I do not want to accidentally will this evil into the world. But if my favorite fighter or number one or two ever had a situation like this, 100% the exact same, just change the names out, then I would be right there in the same position calling for jail time. You know, it's really hard to talk about this for me, like I said, because I don't want to offend anybody when I talk about it. And because I mean, I can talk about anything, but it's a little different when you're on YouTube, and it's a little different when you're talking to people who might have potential sensibilities, and they click on this for the first time, and it's like, oh, I didn't want to hear about this. So it's a little awkward, as you know, so you can kind of see like the awkwardness in it. Like you guys, I've been on camera for a long time. You guys know what I'm about. You can probably see me squirming in my skin. Um, so here, what last facts I have for this? The jury found him guilty in the civil suit. He's looking to appeal it, and full criminal charges were not pursued. So, yikes. But that's it for me. Expect a fun Thanksgiving thing for me that later on this week, because there's no fights this week. Fun Thanksgiving video, hopefully with a retro review getting KO'd this week when I get free. Sorry about last week, guys. I was without power and I boycotted the card on Saturday, so I watched a little bit of it on Sunday. I couldn't watch it on Monday when I was trying to shoot the video. Power was out, and then I had to like watch it Tuesday, and it was like, "All right, okay, let's just move on, I guess." Everyone talked about it. I knew what happened, but it's a little different than like me going, "This is what I heard happened." Yeah. Um, Not a fun weekend that weekend. But anyways, my schedule, I'm trying to get into the groove of things. I feel like I'm starting to get settled in at my new job because I'm on days now. And so hopefully things are going to be much easier for me to kind of, be on y'all's screen a lot more often. Anyways, I'm Joe with the INC, and thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to me. I don't talk about it enough, but it genuinely means a lot when I see you guys comment. I see regulars commenting there, talking about how good we're doing, all that. Like, it really makes my day. I had a really bad situation with my last job. It was stressing me out. It was putting a lot of mental pressure on me, making it hard for me to want to do things like this. It didn't depress me, but it was close. It was really stressing me out. And now my job is great. Life is going infinitely better for me. And it's honestly, what's the constant good thing that's been there is you guys. Obviously, there's more constants in my life. I really do appreciate everything. So once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for watching. Peace, guys.